Now, today I'm doing it slightly differently. I'm doing a live stream outside because thanks to all you wonderful people who subscribed, I now have the capability to live stream from my mobile phone if I've got the signal. So I've come out to a location near where I live for a bit of a walk, and I thought I would do my weekly update. Now, there were some swans. I don't know where they've went. There were some swans behind me, so that's why I actually stood here to do this. But hopefully you'll be able to see some wildlife, and it's a nice scenery. It's definitely a change from my home office, if I'm honest, and it's nice to be out on this what is a kind of fresh day, but it's dry and I'm off work and I'm going to enjoy the time off and enjoy what I have to do today. So hopefully the video is okay. I am streaming live on my mobile phone signal. I do have a good mobile phone signal, and hopefully the video and the audio is okay for you. I did want to say thank you to all my wonderful subscribers who have joined me. I hit 1,110 I think today, so I appreciate everybody that follows me. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your kind words and support again. It really does mean a lot to me on this journey of content creating and creating videos. If you're on the live stream, please do leave me a comment. Please do let me know how the video quality is. Please do say hello, tell me where you are and where you're watching from. I do appreciate that interaction. Now this week we have seen a lot of Azure news. We've seen a lot of Microsoft product news because we've had Microsoft Ignite. It's been the virtual event in March 2021, and yeah, there has been probably at least 100 news announcements from the Azure world, and no doubt more within the other products as well. I know there was a ton of announcements for Microsoft Teams, and there were some Power Platform ones as well. Whole host of announcements to keep up to date with. What I did yesterday was, I think it was yesterday, yes it was yesterday, or no, sorry, the day before, I did a wrap-up video or a recap of some of the Azure news that caught my attention. Now I picked out about 11 bits of news from the Azure world and a couple from Teams to talk about what was happening, and it wasn't a comprehensive recap, but it was a good recap in my opinion of some of the news that may have got lost in among some of the other big announcements. So definitely check out that video. It is a good 10-15 minute recap of what's happening and explains some of the news, so definitely tune into that and see what has been happening. I did want to talk about some other news that had happened about one of my favourite products, the Azure Migrate product. Now, I'm a massive fan of the Azure Migrate product, as I'm sure you know if you've been following my videos, if you've been reading my blog posts. I love the capabilities that it allows you to have in terms of migration. I love the assessment capabilities, and I love the migration support as well. The team announced at Ignite some good announcements. So generally available is now the support to assess your VMware environment on-prem. So you can understand what's happening within your VMware environment on premises and then migrate that into Azure. So the assessment piece is there, so you can fully use that assessment within Azure Migrate to understand your VMware environment for a potential move to the Azure VMware solution, which is a VMware endorsed solution. It doesn't have the migration capabilities yet, it's just the assessment at the moment, but it's went generally available, so it's there for you to use and there for you to actually have an understanding if you are looking to migrate your VMware environment up into Azure. The team also announced more SQL assessment and migration capabilities. I haven't dived into exactly what that means, but I will be looking at it next week when I'm back at work, so look forward to seeing what that is. They also announced more details around their containerized kind of migration path, which I spoke to Brath about a few weeks ago in the Azure Unblogged video that I did, so definitely check that out if you want to know more about that. And they also released some PowerShell support for mass migrations. I'm not entirely sure if this is the PowerShell support that we actually already had, and this is them just officially announcing it and making it public and talking more about it. Again, I'm going to dig into that next week when I'm back at work. So yeah, there's been a ton of announcements. I'm definitely excited to see some of the Microsoft Teams announcements that have come out of Ignite. There is support for webinar functionalities coming. There's support for different presenter modes within Teams. I think we've all had to struggle a little bit trying to present PowerPoint within Microsoft Teams and try and juggle being able to see our PowerPoint, see our notes, see the people that we're trying to talk to, the interactions that we're having as well, and keep an eye on all the chat. And what the team are working on is, I think it's called PowerPoint Live or Presenter Mode, where you can actually start to see everything within that. So you can see your PowerPoint notes when you present within Microsoft Teams, you can see the chat, you can see people, and it's definitely going to be a functionality that will be great, especially when we are presenting internally, or even when we're presenting to user groups, and have a better experience there. So lots and lots of news been happening. There's definitely lots to catch up with. Definitely lots in terms of wanting to play, and definitely lots of content creation ideas coming out of Microsoft Ignite. It does feel a little strange having another Microsoft Ignite, I'll be honest, given that we just had one in September. Thank you and good morning to Saxon, I think that's how you pronounce your name. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying the live video and the quality's okay for you. But yeah, I enjoyed the chance to get to speak at Ignite as well. So this was my third time at presenting at Ignite, my second virtually, and the first time that I ever did it was in Florida in person. So it's definitely a different experience presenting virtually than it was in person. I don't get to see the audience, I don't get to see really who's there, and I don't get to take selfies and exchange stickers or even shortbread after the event. But yeah, it's good to have that run. It's good to have those things on my CV, being able to say that I've presented at Ignite for 3 years in a row. The session I did was entitled, Where Does an Organisation Begin with Azure? And that was talking about, it was really aimed at maybe beginners or people who were just starting their Azure journey, just starting their cloud adoption journey. And yeah, it was a fun session to do. It was 29 minutes long. And yeah, I talked about an introduction to Azure. So talked about why organizations are choosing Azure, what the benefits of that are, introduced some of the cloud adoption challenges and the patterns that we see customers embark on, and why we've actually created the cloud adoption framework, and how it can help you solve some of those challenges and guide you on that cloud adoption journey. And then I covered off some learning resources. Hopefully it was a good session. I know a few people reached out to me after the session and said thank you for the session, and they enjoyed it. So I appreciate that kind of feedback. I do believe that session will be on demand if you missed it. So if it's not already there, then it will be in a few days, and I will highlight it when it comes online. So let me just check the live comments there. So Saxon's saying he's doing more and more with Azure these days, and doing a lot of MFA and conditional access for customers. Yeah, that is a good thing. MFA is obviously something that you do definitely want to turn on regardless of where your environment is. If it's Office 365, Microsoft Azure, it's definitely helping you to stay secure. Conditional access policies are fun to play with. I haven't played with them in several years now, as the geese flies over me, or a duck. I haven't played with conditional access policies in a while, but definitely they are something that organisations should be thinking out, especially when we are working remotely more and more, trying to ensure that your environments are safe and secure as well. I'm just checking to see if the swans have come back. I know they must have been frightened by the fact that I'm talking to them, although I think, yeah, no, the swans have completely disappeared on cue. They were here when I was setting up and they've completely disappeared. I do have some sheep for company. I saw another live comment pop up. Yeah, studying for 303, training at the moment and taking a coffee break. Hope that studying is going well and enjoying that. I actually can't remember what 303 exam is. Is that the developer exam? Or is that one of the administrator ones? I can't remember all the codes. One thing actually talking about exams that did get announced at Ignite was 303, the Azure AD one. Okay, that's, yeah, too many exam codes. But talking about exams, we did have some announcements around new exams for, around security in the Azure world and the Office 365 world as well. So I think there was SC 900, which is the Azure Fundamentals it's not Azure Fundamentals, it's Security, Identity and Compliance Fundamentals exam. That's quite a comprehensive one because it covers off Azure, it covers off Azure Active Directory, even some on-prem Active Directory, and it covers off some of the 365 compliance functionality that you have there as well. There was a whole host of other ones. I think there was SC 300, which is another identity exam. These exams look fairly comprehensive. They are in beta at the moment, so if you were to sit them, you wouldn't necessarily get your exam result right away, which is always disappointing. I am an instant results kind of person. I do love to actually be able to jump on and get the result right away and know whether I've been successful or not. I'm not patient in terms of that. Let me just check the comments here as I will definitely do a video on the new security exams because they are on my radar in terms of wanting to sit them. They will test me because I have been an Azure person for probably about 3 years now. So some of these new security exams are focusing on Office 365 or Microsoft 365 and the security and compliance around all of that. So yeah, I definitely will do a video about what I'm doing and how to study for them. Hello Thomas, I hope you're enjoying the video. I hope you're hard at work and you shouldn't really be watching me on YouTube. I'll be telling the boss that one. But yeah, thank you so much everybody for tuning in. Hopefully this has been quite useful to you. I've just been rambling on my day off about some of the stuff that's been happening this week. I am thankful to everybody that has subscribed onto my YouTube channel to enable me to have this live kind of streaming functionality. Hopefully with spring now coming into Scotland, I can get out a bit more and enjoy this weather a bit more. We are still in lockdown at the moment, so I am a bit limited to where I can travel, but as you can see, I've got some nice locations on my doorstep or nearby where I can go out for a walk and then fire up my camera and have a chat with you all. I still don't think those swans have appeared. No, we've only got some ducks. I'm so gutted. There were some lovely swans here that I was hoping would be in my shot and they've completely disappeared. But yeah, thank you everybody. I hope you've all enjoyed this coffee break. I see lots of you are joining in during your coffee break, so I appreciate that. And yeah, thank you everybody. I hope you all have a good Friday, whatever you're doing. And I will yeah, have a good weekend and I will catch you in my next video, which will hopefully not be too far away. So thank you everybody. See you soon.